Hi guys, and welcome back to Red Dead Redemption. Quick disclaimer, this is not my normal content. Usually I post different videos about dreadlocks, i.e. hairstyles, products, different techniques, tips and tricks to help other people on their journey. However, the topic that I am talking about today is something that I think needs every available voice speaking out on. If you haven't really heard or know much about what's going on with YouTube and the FTC and COPPA, I'm working on an informational playlist for you guys to educate yourselves on, because there are many other channels that have done a fantastic job at explaining how this could potentially affect the broad majority of creators here. I will leave a link to that in the description. I will also be leaving links to where you can write a comment to the FTC yourselves, a list of talking points if you need some help organizing your thoughts. I'll also be leaving a link to a petition related to this as well. I've already left my comment, and in this video I'll be going over just some of my opinions and concerns about how exactly this will play out. It's worrying. One of my biggest issues with this is how vague the language that they're using comes across. Granted, there are some kids' content that is clear-cut kids' content. Blue's Clues, for example. Rugrats, for example. It's Sesame Street. Those are obviously kids' content, but with the guidelines that the FTC is going on, that also includes things like video games. And cartoon characters, like the Magikarp hat here, and other cartoon characters. These shot glasses up here are of different characters from Nightmare Before Christmas. That's one of my favorite movies. I'm wearing the shirt has characters from Nightmare Before Christmas. There's also a lot of bright colors, which could be child appealing. However, kids are not my target audience. They're not the people that I see sitting there watching my content, supporting me. I'm glad to have them if they're here, but that was never my intended target for these videos. Also, the fines that the FTC are proposing are absolutely astronomical. They're talking about $45,500 and change. I think maybe like $42,530, I don't know, somewhere up there, but $42,000 per infraction, basically per video that you have mislabeled, according to them. Because even though I obviously know that this content is not for kids, they might classify it because of all the bright colors and the fact that I try and explain things simply so that people can understand. It's not so kids specifically can understand, I just want to come across very clear for you guys, because information is important, and people understanding information is important to me. So a fine that large, it would bankrupt me as a creator. Not only would it shut down my channel, but would put me as a person in such a huge debt that I would basically have to sell everything. People have the potential to lose their homes if they get hit with this sort of fine. I really hope that the FTC isn't planning on choosing the full amount that they can for each quote-unquote mislabeled video. But a rule like this was never intended to go on individual people. A money amount that high was intended for companies, because yeah, it'll hurt the companies, they'll feel it, but it won't put them out of business. The next issue I have is more with how YouTube is dealing with this problem than the FTC themselves. Because with the changes that YouTube is putting in place to try and comply, if you label yourself as a kids content creator, you will lose your comment section, you will lose the community section, you have a chance to lose your live streams, you will lose most of your ad income. And while I'm of the opinion where you should diversify so you aren't relying solely on one thing to support you, that could potentially affect the longevity of certain channels, because that is an income source. Furthermore, their videos won't be allowed to be put into playlists. And the people who subscribe and hit the bell icon, if it's still available for kids' channels, will not get notified. They'll have to go to the channel itself or go to their subscriptions tab to even see if that channel did something. There are also other options available. If parents are that worried about data being collected on their children. There's YouTube Kids, which is something that YouTube specifically made for people that are under 13 to watch the content that is deemed safe for children, which most of the time they get it right. There's also YouTube Red, which you can pay and then you get no ads, and you don't even need to worry about necessarily, well, there might still be some implications of data collection. They're also taking away the parents' choice. It seems to me like a lot of parents are choosing to hand their child their phone that's logged onto their YouTube account to go watch whatever. I mean, I personally don't have kids, but I do have a young niece and nephew, and I respect my sister's decisions on how she's choosing to raise her kids. But I was a kid that was able to watch PG-13 movies before I was technically allowed to. Like, my parents gauged the content and gauged whether or not I was mature enough to be able to handle it, and I think the parents should still have that choice. And to be honest, I would almost rather that my niece or nephew or my future kids are getting ads for toys or for cartoons that they are watching already than to get an ad for a random church, or to get an ad for insurance, or to get an ad to create a website that's just like generalized ads that's allowed on the content, but it's not really anything that the kids would be interested in. As it stands now, everything is honestly dissuading for me as a creator. One, because it has a small chance of affecting this channel, but two, it has a significant chance of affecting a channel that I haven't even gotten to launch yet. Long story short, I've been crocheting since I was 7, and I've excelled past people who are far beyond me in years of doing this art, and I've been able to create patterns. I looked at a picture of a magic art with some yarn, and I busted that out. And when people find out that I did that, they're absolutely amazed. And I want to share that art with other adults. But because of this, and because of the type of things that I make, and because of how I plan to construct this channel to make it easy to understand for basically anyone that's going into it that has no experience with this craft, to be able to learn how to crochet and then to make something. And even for that, my target audience was never children. Yes, it's a lot of nerdy stuff that could be deemed as kid-friendly. It's going to be explained simply, which could be deemed as kid-friendly. There's going to be a lot of bright colors because yarn comes in a lot of bright colors, and that could be deemed as kid-friendly. And I personally am worried about taking the risk of potentially mislabeling my content according to the FTC because we see things differently. Okay, truck. Another thing is, like, I'm not even the one collecting the data. I personally, as a creator, am not collecting data on my viewers. Do I appreciate the views? Yes. Do I appreciate all the analytics that YouTube is able to provide me? Yes. But it's YouTube that's collecting the data, and I don't think that the creator should be financially responsible for something that the company they are essentially working with, because I acknowledge that there's a working relationship with me and YouTube. They allow this platform for me to post my content to get to you guys, to the viewers, and eventually I'll be monetized and be making it hopefully enough to live on it through this and other projects. But I should not have to foot the bill for a mistake that the company I'm working with is making. And honestly, this whole situation just makes it kind of obvious that the FTC doesn't really understand the YouTube ecosystem. It's basically impossible for a small creator like myself to even fight back because I can't afford a lawyer. If I get sued by the FTC or pinned with this fine because they decide that any one of my content is kid-directed, it's a really hard place for a company to put its content creators in. I personally plan on sticking around through this and trying to figure out my footing in the whatever new difficult thing that it happens because of this, because unless we as viewers and we as content creators stand up and make our voice known, as it stands now, we're gonna get the real short end of the stick. Thank you to those of you that have stuck around this long. I really hope that you subscribe. I honestly don't normally post content like this on this channel because I planned on being extremely niche, but this is something that is so big that it needs everyone talking about. Not just the people that it could affect. Not just the people that it will affect. This needs people that it won't affect talking about it, because we need to stand together and hold each other up and stand up for each other and ourselves. If we don't do anything, we might be doomed. And I usually try and look on the bright side of things, but it's hard to look on the bright side of potentially being bankrupt, because someone else decides that my content is for someone that I had no intention of focusing on. Again, thank you guys for sticking around for this. This is, again, not my normal content. But I hope that you subscribe. I hope that you like. Go through the links that I've included in the description, and hopefully we can band together and make a change. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.